Admiral Richardson, Senator Durbin and I, members of this committee generally always are very engaged in the discussion about the FA-18 Super Hornet production. I think generally that's been sort of at the top of the unfunded list. I believe this budget has fully funded the line for the coming year. And mostly I just didn't want to fail to mention this once again, that this is an item we care about a lot. The question I have for you, though, is the competition for the new aerial unmanned refueling asset, and how that's going, and how you see that unmanned refueling as an important part of the future of the Navy.
Senator, thanks, and I just want to double down on the importance of the F-18 Super Hornet as a current and continuing part of our future Naval Air Wing, and so we're completely behind you on that. With respect to the MQ-25, the unmanned aerial tanker, this is a signature program for the Navy that is not only going to fulfill a critical readiness and capability gap, the ability to fuel strike fighters, which will liberate additional strike fighters to go do a strike and fighter mission, which are currently tanking. And so this will not only extend the range of the air wing, but also reap benefits in terms of increasing the striking power of the air wing as well. We brought in industry very, very quickly on that. Early on in the problem, we leveraged the technology that had been developed to date so that we could move quickly to production on this. Competition is going very well. We are currently in the evaluation of that, and we expect to award a contract later this year.
Later this year?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you, Admiral. General Neller, as you know, I think there are more Marines at Fort Leonard Wood because of the schoolhouse that is run there than there are at any other non-Marine base in the country. We're certainly glad to have those Marines. I know you're looking at the feasibility of moving the civilian law enforcement training to Fort Leonard Wood, where other military police training goes on. And I'm wondering if you could discuss the benefits of potentially unifying that training at one location.
Well, Senator, you're correct. I visited Fort Leonard Wood about 6 months ago, and you would think after being in the Marine Corps this long, I would know where all the Marines were. There are a lot of Marines there. We've got our motor transport school, and we've got our nuclear biological chemical school there, and we also train our military police Marines. And I believe there's a study ongoing now to take a look at whether civilian law enforcement would go there. Obviously, if you can consolidate any training, you can achieve economies of scale, particularly where you have a school for military police, that there's going to be advantage to that. So we're still waiting for the final results of that, and I would ask that I can give you the results of that when we get the final readout on that report.
That would be great. I hope you continue to look at the feasibility of that, and I know you're encouraging them to get to a final conclusion soon and hope to be updated on that. And Secretary Spencer, my question for you is, as we talk about continuing to add to the equipment, add ships to the Navy, how does that compete with the readiness concerns that we've seen, and I know you have? You're adding more ships in an environment where we've had a hard time keeping all the ships we currently have ready, and just your thoughts on how we do a better job of balancing those things.
Senator, to frame an answer for you, to grow the fleet is one bar in the chart, and there are two other bars that need to be acknowledged, and that's the manpower needed to support the ships and the actual maintenance needed to keep them going. That is the full life cycle cost of the platform. We are analyzing that as we go forward. When it comes down to the actual tactical measures we're doing, we are actually starting to see the needle move when it comes to ship maintenance. There are some efforts underway that we're reaching out to the private sector to take some best practices from them. We're learning some lessons already that we're indoctrinating into both depot level aircraft maintenance and ship availabilities. we're taking this all into effect because as we grow the fleet, we have the responsibility in spending the resources to make sure they're put forward to make it a more efficient and effective team.
Well, I think we all know we've been asking too few people to do too many things with equipment that wasn't where we'd want it to be, and I know that's an important priority for you, and I'd suggest it is for the committee as well, so hopefully we can work together to make it a priority.
Look
Thank you,
forward to it.
Chairman.